Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's me, CMZ News, and I am here to deliver some Vanderpump reunion tea. Yes, I'm behind on my recaps, but you guys know how I roll. You know I get busy. I'm gonna get around to it. I'll get on a good streak. But we don't have time for that because there is just too much going on in the Vanderpump Rules universe. It has been ever since the news of the scandal broke. It has been non-freaking stop. I mean, literally every hour there was something, okay? And they just taped the reunion on March 23rd, which was yesterday. Now, in the course of these last couple weeks, there's been restraining orders, there's been all kinds of stuff that's happened, there's been merch, there's been send it to Daryl, there's been all kinds of stuff that's been happening, and everyone has been just activated and ready for this reunion. We didn't know if Raquel was going to show up because she put the restraining order on Sheena, and the meeting for that, or the court date for that, was supposed to be next week. We didn't know if Sheena was going to be there. We didn't know who was going to, if one was going to have to, zoom in, or we didn't know what the case was going to be. Okay. Well, sorry, I'm like seeing things. Now we've got some clarity. Okay. We've got some answers. So, TMZ got some information about some intel. Oh, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the shadow of my, guys, this is not a stain on my blinds. This is the shadow of my lamp right here. I'm like, what in the hell? Anyway, all right, so TMZ got some tea, and I cannot wait. They took their cell phones, so there's no leaks yet, but I'm like, there has to be, like, somebody knows what happened. I don't want to wait for this reunion, you guys. It sounds so good. So Tom Sandoval and Raquel Leviss Rachel were dragged through the mud at the Vanderpump Rules taping on Thursday. This is TMZ. I'm reading directly from the article, and we're told the show got so bad that Andy Cohen had to separate two other castmates to prevent an assault and battery. We're told that we don't know who that person was. We'd be surprised. So I'm like, to me, a surprise would be like maybe Katie going after someone. Katie gets angry, but like to physical, I don't know. Schwartz, although Schwartz has a history of being, aggressive with women, pouring drinks on everybody. He pushed Kristen, he's pushed Stassi, like he's poured drinks, but I'm thinking because he usually comes off so bashful that maybe this is about Schwartz. Sources close to production tell TMZ the taping became explosive within 2 minutes, and it never let up for the entire 5 hours of shooting. No one sided with Tom and Raquel. Quite the opposite, quite the contrary. They were annihilated by everyone, including Lisa and Andy Cohen. They need that. I really hope that they feel terrible for what they've done, the treachery that they've done. One source described it this way. It was like a nuclear bomb went off inside the studio. As for which cast members got in a fight, we know it was not Tom, Raquel, or Ariana. Personally, I would love it if it was Ariana, but she's classy. We're told the instigator is not someone you'd guess. So I don't know who else, like Lisa Vanderpump, like the instigator. So the other person involved could have definitely be one of the people who was aggressive, Katie, James. I would think, James will fight, but the instigator is not someone. I kind of feel like it was Schwartz and James that got into it, because in this season finale, in the long preview they gave us, which was also fantastic, you see that we get some of the new footage, okay? And you also remember in Mexico, Sheena's wedding, James pours his drink on Schwartz. So I'm thinking there could be some unfinished stuff there. What else? Andy asked Tom and Raquel how their affair started. They didn't give a time frame, but they said they hooked up, but didn't immediately dive into a relationship. There was some period of time before they were all in with each other. To me, that is such a cop-out. I guess it doesn't really matter. They're still lying. They're sticking, what recently came out on all the various podcasts that people have been doing. A podcast that Sheena's friend Jamie and her friend Kale, who's friends with Raquel, I guess he talked to Raquel shortly after everything, and she said that it started after Guys Night. Okay, so we just got the Guys Night episode this week, a little piece of it last week, but this week was when the affair started, and I am going to recap Vanderpump right after this video, and I'm going to talk about that. So now we will start we're not going to watch, we're going to watch this with a different eye now because we know what happened, and we're going to watch this with thinking every interaction is really just some BS and there's something going on behind it. So I think with them not giving a time frame, to me, that tells me that they probably been banging for even longer than we think, maybe even before, because I think it really happened. I think personally they started something in Coachella. I think they might have kissed. Something happened when they were in Coachella last April, and then maybe things didn't circle back, or maybe they kept it hush hush and maybe had a little something down low. Maybe they were texting, getting close. And then after guys' night, when Ariana's grieving the loss of her dog and they're all out, that's when it maybe went all the way. I don't know, but they're still keeping that mum. So as for Ariana, it continues. It's interesting. She was equally enraged with Tom and Raquel. That's good. They both deserve it. We know Tom was her partner, but we know that Raquel sat up in her face, pretended to be her friend, stayed in her home. She deserves 100% of the smoke. Obviously, Tom is the one who betrayed her in a partner relationship, but Raquel also betrayed her as a friend. What kind of woman are you? Like, who are either of these people? They're disgusting. We're told she did not go over the top, even though she cried at times. One source said the way she was speaking and what she was saying sounded like she'd had some serious therapy. So Ariana's always kind of calm, and that's kind of been something that was like low-key always bothered me, is that I feel like she never goes off, but that's just not her way. I mean, I guess what good does like cursing and like getting all in somebody's face and doing all this do? I don't know, but that's like what I want to see. Like, that's the energy I would have, but I'm assuming, Lauren from Utah will give us that, I'm sure. So we'll see. We're told Tom in particular was just destroyed. So much so they all had to take a break to calm down. But when they came back, it was just as intense. So they probably listen, it sounds like they got in Tom's ass. They let him have it. And I think he deserves every bit of it. These are people who were his friends. Not all of them love Tom that way, but the way what they done to Sheena, how good Sheena was to them. I bet you they were screwing in her Palm Springs house all those times she let them come and thinking they're her friend, taking Raquel. She went so hard for Raquel. And then it continues. There's this. Andy asked Tom and Raquel if they are still together. And the takeaway is that yes, they still are. But a source close to production tells TMZ that relationship is like on an egg timer. It's not gonna last. Honestly, they need to go all the way. I think that's the only way to, make this not so bad. They need to do an Eddie Cibrian and Leanne Rimes and get married. They need to do a Dean and Tori and get married. They need to do, who else done some shit like this? They need to do, hell, all the Kardashians took somebody and turned it into something. They need to do something like that and turn it into a relationship. And then they've got to decide if they're going to be the TV villains. Are they going to be the Heidi and the Spencer of this show? Are they going to go all in? Raquel is a joke. This week's episode, she really thought she ate several times and she did not. But that is that. And then another BS thing that happens during the reunion is, now keep in mind, Sheena and Raquel couldn't be within 100 yards or feet or whatever, I guess feet probably, from each other. So Raquel claims that this is another article, it's on TMZ, Raquel attempts to squash her beef with Sheena Shea is just a stage stunt for cameras during the reunion taping, one that has no impact on the legal battle, at least that's how Sheena sees it. Sheena's lawyer, Naima Ramani, tells TMZ Rachel and Andy served Sheena with a document during the reunion, but the papers have no legal meaning. He says the docs were a request to dismiss a complaint or a civil lawsuit, but Raquel had already requested a permanent restraining order, which is something completely different. Ramani says there's no way for Raquel to drop the current temporary restraining order ahead of next week's hearing either, and the notes of the docs handed to Sheena weren't filed with any court. So then I heard today that she actually did drop the order and claims that, she wanted to film with Sheena, but, Sheena wouldn't comply, which is just BS. And honestly, it is an abuse of the legal system. There are actual victims of this sorts of things that, have trouble getting orders in place. And here goes this girl who, you know, Sheena apparently didn't put hands on her, but in my head, you know, Molly, in my head, that's how it's always going to be, okay? But let's say she didn't, and this girl is over here just trying to scramble because she has no sense and has imploded her life. How easy. I mean, you're getting money. Raquel had it. She had it. She was, if this wasn't for this affair, she would be getting the Katie, Lala, everybody are bullies. Raquel is in her have fun era. She's free of James. She'd be getting that. But no, she decided to, you know, go for a, she decided to go for freaking Sandoval. I don't even know like what to compare with him and his cover band and the extras and all that, but whatever. So that is the reunion. I cannot wait. Like literally, Bravo needs to drop it. Drop the episodes. Drop them all. Drop the episodes. We will pay. Like I literally would pay like, I would pay like $129 like to see the reunion. Like I would pay to see all 5 hours unedited. Let me see it all. Like release it, Bravo, release it, Andy. We want to see it. Pay-per-view it. Like I will pay for it. And you know what? I'm not letting nobody like get my password, whatever. Like you're gonna have to pay for it too. So that is that. I am going to get to a recap of this episode, but I can't wait. The reunion sounds juicy. It sounds like everyone lets them have it and lets them know exactly what they think. And I'm sure there's one of those moments where they leave and they're like, dang, I should have said this, but I hope they let them have it. I hope, oh, I can't wait. So thank you for tuning in.